Good evening, everybody. We're going to mix it up a little bit with a Nomad start between Miguel and Project Belgium. So let's get right into it as the players are starting to drop their town centers. So right off the bat, as you can see, Project Belgium was able to spot where Miguel's base is just because of this outline that the players see to begin with. And so looking at the map, Miguel close to berries, close to some gold. He's got a couple of boars and a back stone. Actually a pretty good spot. And then his enemy close to stone, close to gold. He missed that one pig, but still not too bad of a start. I personally would prefer Miguel's start, but both are fairly good. One thing to note, these docks very close to one another, so fast feudal age is going to be very important as fishing ships are so vital in a nomad start. So both of these players, of course, have known each other for quite a long time. Both of these players are pretty established in the game, both top-level players who have been around for quite a while. And so both players could see some benefits. Let's take a look at the civilizations they're playing as. So Project Belgium playing as the Franks, while they do have a couple of bonuses, definitely not a popular choice for a nomad start unless it's a team game, in which case they can be very strong. But we will likely see cavalry coming out, very strong knights out of the Frank players. And then, of course, Miguel is playing as the Koreans. Koreans, a very top level civilization for nomads just because of their strong towers. It is so annoying playing against a tower rush in a nomad style game, especially with the maps that these players have. A tower could really disrupt the work of Project Belgium. And so both of these players just talking back and forth right now, talking about Degao, another top-level player who is competing right now. And both of these players starting out with fishing ships a little bit quicker for Project Belgium. Of course, Miguel and Degao, very well-known Brazilian players. Both of these players have been leading the way in 2v2 for a very long time. Of course, a little bit of trash talk there about his teammate Miguel and Degao go back quite a ways. But in the meantime, each player is collecting up wood to build fishing ships and also trying to get food here and there from the hunt. And so for a nomad start, you always want to be collecting wood and making sure that your dock is producing fishing ships as much as possible. It's such a different start than a typical game just because of that. So wood is key to begin with, and then you can start to look at food at the later stages, but you always want to make sure your dock and your town center are producing as much as possible. And of course, when starting out with a quick dock, it's always a little bit difficult with houses. So you do see people get housed just that much more, and it just adds that much of a different level to the game. Both of these players, though, collecting mostly hunt, and if you take a look at the maps, not too much scouting from Miguel. He actually doesn't know that there's a dock for the enemy right there. And Project Belgium's has scouted a little bit more. He's been going around with this little pig here, trying to see where the enemy is, where the enemy resources are. Of course, he knows that the town center is here, but doesn't know any of the specifics. So looking for that dock, looking for any sorts of hints. So whoever can spot the other one first is going to have a big advantage, and it looks like Miguel might just loop around right now and probably will see pretty shortly the enemy close by. Both these players are going to want to get aggressive as soon as the next age starts. So they're both at that stage of the game where they have enough on wood and enough on food to continue production out of both the dock and the town center. But a little bit of an advantage in Project Belgium, just being a little bit quicker with his fishing ships and choosing to scout out to see where the enemy is and where more fish are. But going this direction rather than south, he would have definitely spotted these fishing ships. And so now Miguel sent that pig this way. He knows the enemy's right there, and the pig comes right back. And pretty soon, Project Belgium's going to know exactly where the dock is. And oh my goodness, he missed it. That is very surprising, actually. So he might have thought that that was just a lucky guess or something. But he might have spotted that pig there, and we will see both of these players continue on. Would love to see for Miguel to go for some sort of tower rush as we continue on. These players now, of course, are in the rush to the next age. Project Belgium has now clicked up to the feudal age, and Miguel is just a little bit behind. So he's going to go up just that much behind. He's got one extra villager, and he will have another on the way. So he's going to have a strong economy. But he's going to be a lot slower to the next age. So that's going to affect him greatly when it comes to water control. And he's already sending a villager over to stone. He's gonna, might have glitched out a little bit there, but he's gonna try and collect up a little bit of stone. He's collecting his gold already, and that might be a sign of things to come, as he is going to want to get a little bit of aggression out against the enemy. And Project Belgium knows this is coming, so he's starting the wall off. He knows where the enemy is. Great opportunity to wall. I mean, this wood line here, so protective. So quick wall here, and then he can be open on the sides for a little bit longer. But even this wall off is fantastic. So easy for Project Belgium, and he is going to be hitting the next age very shortly with 0 land military. He doesn't have a barracks up. He doesn't want a barracks up as of yet. He's going to go fully onto water. So galleys coming out of 3 docks right off the bat. So 3 dock galleys. There's definitely going to be 3 and another 3 on the way by the time the enemy is even in the next age. And the enemy, of course, only with 2 docks right now. Just these 2. And this one is pretty much gone already. So we'll see what sort of response comes out of Miguel. It looks like he's going to go way more into land aggression. With 4 on stone, you expect to see towers, especially playing as the Koreans. He's getting loom. He's got the villager lead. Even with the later uptime, he still gets to the next age with 2 extra villagers. He drops a blacksmith, he drops a market, and he's going to go for a fast castle. The galleys are already out for the enemy, and no military coming out on water for Miguel. So we'll see if that pays off for him. He is going strictly into land, and it's a little bit of a risk, especially on Nomad start, when you look around and you see all of the fish available. That's hundreds of, if not thousands, of food for each ship out here. I mean, it's a ton of food out here. Fire galleys are coming out a little bit in defense now for Miguel, but he's just trying to buy time as he's clicked up to the next stage. He is going to drop a castle by the looks of it, so that will be a little bit of a change up there. And Project Belgium deciding to go for outposts. He wants to have visibility of the enemy, and look at this visibility. That is great work from Project Belgium. He knows what's going on. He's got line of sight across the map, and he knows exactly where Miguel's at. Miguel hasn't yet spotted the town center, actually, of the enemy, so he's going to need to do that fairly quick here, as he needs to know where this castle's going to drop off. And only making a couple of fires, these fires will be able to take it out almost immediately. And just trying to save as much of the fish as possible for as long as possible. But really, it looks like Miguel has made the decision to lose the water, and he is okay with that. As a blacksmith is coming up and a market for Project Belgium. He is going to be starting to look to the next age as he has the resources for it. He just needs the buildings. But by the time he clicks up, the enemy will already be in the castle age and will have enough stone for a castle to be dropped anywhere on the map. There is no military on land for Project Belgium, and it is wide open right now. So Miguel choosing to go a little bit aggressive and actually makes his castle right on the front. Not as aggressive as he could have been, but with the war wagons that will be coming out, there's no real worry there, as he is going to continue to collect stone, and he is going to continue to expand his land aggression. So the enemy has the water control and is able to take over from there, but Miguel still does have fire ships, which will be able to fight against the fire galleys of the enemy. So Miguel coming out with fletching. He's getting his eco upgrades right now, sticking with one town center, and he wants to just play aggressive. He'll likely be dropping another castle or even a few towers. I think a couple of towers would be very, very strong, but he sends these villagers back and is already making war wagons. War wagons completely destroy any feudal age military, but for Project Belgium, there is no feudal age military at all on the field. All that we have are water military, and so engagements are starting. Fire ships just that much stronger than fire galleys, but they are so outmassed that it is difficult to engage. The wall off will happen in time, but these war wagons are going to be such a pain on the other side of this wood line. They might actually be able to take out a villager or two, but they will definitely deny this wood line. And this wood line is a major part of Project Belgium's economy, as the second town center goes on the other wood line, but again can be ranged by war wagons on the other side, so we might see problems coming out of there after. Lots of weak villagers just from these two war wagons right off the bat, and we see a guard tower coming out and two war wagons coming along the other side. This is exactly what Miguel hoped for. He forfeited the water control so that he could take over land. He's losing everything on water, but look at all the resources that Project Belgium has put into his water economy. The longer the game goes, the better off Project Belgium will be, just because of that strong water economy, but the land is pretty much gone already as Villager falls, and these two town centers will continue to outproduce the one of Miguel, but it's going to need to be a lot more. As a monastery is getting dropped, monasteries will be able, the monks will be able to convert these war wagons, but it's not an easy thing to do, especially with these guard towers hopping over one another. Project Belgium being forced further and further into a corner. I'd love to see a guard tower here just to ensure that this wood line continues to get attacked, as Project Belgium is in a very bad spot, and he might lose some villagers here with this gold. I'm not sure if the war wagons see the villagers. They do now, so 4 villagers might fall here. We've got another guard tower. The Koreans just so strong with this castle rush and guard tower push, and the guard tower is able to hit one another. We've got Bodkin arrow coming in, and in response, Project Belgium is going for eco upgrades. He is going to lose the villagers up here, but he's distracting some war wagons in the meantime, getting another town center to get safe stone. And if he can drop a castle, he might be able to buy himself a little bit of time, as a war wagon does have to run away. But this guard tower able to range the town center. This guard tower will be denied, and that is the pain point of having these war wagons not sitting here. If the war wagons were here, there'd be free pickings for the villagers here, but this tower is probably going to be denied as the monks start to loop around. And can there be a conversion out of this? No, denied. So war wagons just so strong, and Project Belgium knows he has the economy on the water, but he's got nothing on land, as the war wagons are going to chase down more villagers. This is great play, as a town center is now being dropped for Miguel, so he's going to work a little bit on his eco. He knows he's ahead when it comes to military. He knows he's got control of the land, but out the east, Project Belgium is going to make a run for it. And he knows he's safe because of his scouting. So that is great work for him there. He does have the resources he has the stone for another town center, but he doesn't have the wood. So he's desperately trying to collect up as much wood as possible to drop his town center on the other side. But this is such a messy wood line here. And you see Miguel is attacking with these war wagons. I don't think he realizes just how important that attack really was, as the enemy not able right now to even build a town center that's safe and out of range of these towers. As another tower is getting built, it will not be denied again. And villagers falling all over the place. Project Belgium has had the advantage when it comes to the number of villagers being produced throughout this entire game, but he still does not have the villager lead. But one thing to note, he has had 10 fishing ships working this entire time, so food is not an issue for him. He can maintain production out of his town centers for days because there's nothing on water that's stopping all of these fishing ships from collecting. And now he's dropping a castle right in the middle of his base. He's got pretty much half of his economy building this castle right now. It will be able to take out the guard towers, and suddenly the spot that Miguel is in is not as much of a chokehold as he would have once hoped. This tower, of course, being denied as well. So great noticing that with the fire ship. And this castle will take out these two guard towers, and then there's not too much in the background for Miguel to fight with. Miguel still unaware of the gold mine right here for Project Belgium. So if these miners weren't here, this would be a much different game. But because they're out here, they are going to be able to expand a little bit and create a little bit more economy. But such a mess for Project Belgium. He does have the score lead. That is pretty much 100% because of the fishing ships that he does have on his side. But trying to attack as much as possible from the edge. Lots of idle villagers from both of these players. The economies of both of these players in a little bit of a mess, as there is attacking from all angles. The second guard tower now goes down to the castle fire, and we see upgrades coming in for these monks. So going to be focusing a little bit more on the monks to counteract the war wagons of the enemy. So a conversion right there. He's got a couple of conversions of war wagons, so Miguel just has to be a little bit safer. He's expanding the economy now, 55 villagers to 52, but 9 fishing ships still out here collecting for free. And Miguel, in response, does have his own docks right here. They have not yet been spotted by the enemy, but they will be shortly, I am sure. These fishing ships will fall to these fire ships so quickly, just completely falling apart. And the fishing ship economy of Project Belgium is what has kept him in this game for this long. So just these 3 fire ships, enough to engage against the army on the water, because there's not much going on. Oof, not good pathing for these war wagons to be going right underneath the town center, but might be a good thing that he saw a battering ram is out. So he needs melee to combat the battering rams, because battering rams will be able to take out towers and castles at the same time. Not quite as strong as, say, a trebuchet later on, but still able to fight and get close. A little bit of a clear up, so only 4 fishing ships are still alive for Project Belgium. They are still collecting food, but not quite as much as the enemy would like. So Miguel able to sit on this wood line. This wood line so important since the beginning, but a couple of more conversions have turned the tides of battle for this engagement. And Miguel able to fight back and forth, and Project Belgium still in this. It was close. When this tower got put up, I thought that might be the end of it, but now the guard tower is being rammed down. That's so annoying that they can ram through those walls. I've noted that before, but the guard towers are all falling down, and it's anyone's game. Siege Workshop now coming up for Miguel, and he's going to go for a Mangonel. Mangonels, of course, being able to counteract these monks and the battering rams, but one thing to note, Miguel's wide open on this western side. His army is not here. He doesn't have towers anymore, so he is not very well protected, but no real aggression on land other than monks, and that's a lot of monks. I mean, having 8 monks is enough to turn the tide of any battle, but could quickly turn around if a Mangonel were to hop out and get a good shot. Would like to see some sort of light cavalry, because that is, he needs a way to fight against these monks, and he doesn't yet have it. So Miguel now has spotted the mining camps on the stone and on the gold. He will know that the enemy is there collecting, but these monks have just been causing so much damage in Project Belgium. The fact that he is still staying in this is a real testament to how well he is able to play this game. He has the villager lead now. He only has 1 fishing ship left, and that has died, so it looks like the players are not going to go after water in the way that they thought at the beginning, but this town center could be completely destroyed if these monks can be taken out. But the monks right now just doing so much damage, and that Mangonel not able to do anything to fight against them. Doesn't take out any of the monks, and of course monks can just heal themselves up pretty easily. As a second castle now being dropped by Project Belgium, exactly where a castle wants to be dropped by Miguel, and Miguel denied as he's trying to get this castle up as quickly as possible. We have 12 villagers from Project Belgium putting up this castle, and we have way more from Miguel, but the advantage was to Project Belgium to begin with. The engagement is here. This is going to be a make or break situation as the Mangonel is taking out villagers building the castle. The castle for Project Belgium goes up. Lots of villagers went down on both sides, but both castles do go up, and both players will hide within the castles. Mangonel, this is such an annoying spot for a Mangonel to be sat at, but so strong as it will continue to do damage. More of these war wagons are being converted to Project Belgium's side, and both players now engaging hard as a battering ram is already out for Miguel, and battering rams on the way right now for Project Belgium. So this war wagon in a good spot right underneath the castle, so it's unable to attack, and building petards. Both of these players, I actually think Miguel will win this just because of the faster battering rams, as the petard goes out and decides to attack one of the battering rams, but there are going to be 5 petards for the enemy, and the petard should be attacking in between the castle and the battering ram so that we can see some sort of engagement. 5 petards gonna be close to taking this out, especially with the battering ram on the front, but not quite enough yet, so going to save up a little bit more before the attacks continue. This guard tower is going to be taken out. Will the battering ram get in close? It will, of course, especially, oh, just built in time. The battering ram blocked from attacking, and the petards, I missed it, but they take out the castle, so there needs to be a response now. This one war wagon, honestly, such a pain for the enemy to have to deal with. Needs to take out the war wagon before anything else, and the battering rams will fall to the villagers as this big chunk of monks continue to walk around. Miguel, though, on his way up to the Imperial Age, and what that means is he will be able to make trebuchets. Another thing that will happen, these guard towers will all be upgraded to keeps as soon as he hits the next age. That's a big deal. A trebuchet right here, if this war wagon can be taken out, that is. A trebuchet right here can take out this castle, no problem. A trebuchet under the castle here can take out this castle, no problem. So when it comes down to a castle war, the player who gets trebuchets first usually wins. But lots of upgrades coming in, block printing, illumination, theocracy. Project Belgium needs to be making something. He's in the Imperial Age and he's now getting his trebuchets out. So now he will be able to attack the enemy. Miguel really needing to get to that next age just that much faster because the trebuchets, like I said, win the game. And just like that, Miguel calls it. Right off the beginning, I thought that once that guard tower was placed, that was the end. But Project Belgium able to hang in there with that economy and sneak those villagers out to this gold mine right here. Great play on his part, and what a way to hang in there.